facts of Bruce Lee. Well-known martial artist and legend Bruce Lee was recognized for his crazy fighting abilities, both on and off the screen. After commencing a career in cinema as a child actor, Lee came to the USA as a young man to become one of the greatest action heroes of all time. Although everyone knows Bruce Lee for his astonishing moves in popular films, there are some facts that you may not know about this absolute superstar. We're counting down our picks for the top 6 coolest things about Bruce Lee, so don't sit back. We've narrowed down the most interesting facts that made Bruce Lee stand out from his rivals, as opposed to simply listing important fights he had or victorious movies he was involved with. Before we dive into the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss any of our fascinating videos. Number 6. Fighting in the street. As a kid, Lee was in a gang named the Tigers of Junction Street. However, this was a very dangerous gang and ended up getting knocked up pretty seriously more than a few times. One day, 13-year-old Lee arrived home with a black eye and requested for karate lessons. His mother said yes, and Lee ended up with a trainer called Yip Man, the semi-legendary kung fu teacher. Most of what Lee learned from Yip Man would be employed in street fights. Lee was daring at this age, once punching and beating up the son of a recognized triad member. Ultimately, his parents decided that he would be better off out of the nation and had to bribe the police to have him taken off a list of known bullies so that he could travel to the USA. Number 5. The Teaching Master. By 1964, Lee was pretty well known as an astonishing martial artist, so it was only expected that he opened up his school in California to train students in his ways. In no time, Lee was earning his reputation as the ultimate teacher, and students were coming from around the world to try and practice under his guidance. Lee had an extraordinary roster of celebrity students, including Chuck Norris, Steve McQueen, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. While Lee was open to training anyone, he also didn't want people to think that Kung Fu was an easy thing to learn after a class or two. To attract only the most sincere students, Lee charged remarkably high prices for his classes, but the students kept coming. Some of his most admired students went on to appear in Lee's movies, such as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Chuck Norris. Number 4. Too fast for film. A lot of action films today rely on sped-up action to make fight scenes look exciting and dangerous. Bruce Lee, however, had a different problem. Rather than needing his action scenes to be sped up, he needed them to be slowed down. This is because his martial arts moves were literally too quick for the camera to even record. When Lee presented his fighting scenes correctly, it looked like his enemies on camera were just falling down, while Lee hardly moved. That was a big issue because everyone wanted to see Lee's skills in action, but no one recognized that he was too skilled for his own good. Directors had to ask Lee to intentionally do his actions in slow motion. Another technique that was sometimes used for his movies was raising the shooting frame rate so that his movements could be caught, making sure that no one missed a minute of his epic fight scenes. Before moving forward with the list, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss any of our future videos, like this one. Number 3. Cha-Cha Champion. Martial arts wasn't the only sort of choreography that Bruce Lee had expertise in. Not only was he an excellent athlete when it came to fighting, but he was also a great dancer. In 1958, Lee amazed spectators and judges equally when he danced at the Winner's Circle in Hong Kong's Cha-Cha Championship. Apparently, he practiced dance almost as seriously as he did martial arts and kept books with outlined choreography and notated dance steps to perfect. His love for dance even made a short appearance in one of his action films, The Big Boss. In the movie, he leads a group of working men around in a winning cha-cha dance, which was a unique scene for Asian cinema at the time, particularly in the middle of an action movie. Number 2. Lee's legacy. After unexpectedly passing away from a medical allergy during the shooting of his last film, Game of Death, the movie's crew was left with a problem. Lee hadn't finished shooting his scenes for the movie, and only 100 minutes had been shot for the movie when he died. In order to get a little more scenes to work with, the filmmakers decided to film parts of Lee's real funeral to cut into the movie. The funeral itself was a sumptuous affair, as he was at the height of his stardom when he passed. Old students Steve McQueen and Chuck Norris served as 2 of his mourners, while the filmmakers tried to get close-up shots of Lee's body to use for a fictional funeral for the movie. Number 1. Life of the Party. Bruce Lee didn't just use his amazing speed and crazy reflexes for fighting. He also had quite a few party twists and show moves that he liked to do for fun. Folks who've seen films like The Karate Kid, in which wise senseis can grab flies with chopsticks, assume that that kind of activity is actually impossible. Or is it? Lee had some remarkable tricks of his own, even one that was surprisingly similar to The Karate Kid. If a single grain of rice was thrown into the air, Lee was able to grab it mid-flight with a pair of chopsticks. This is even more exciting since Lee had especially bad eyesight. He spent most of his time carrying large glasses and was even one of the first individuals to start trying contact lenses. However, none of this prevented him from snatching that piece of rice out of the air and entertaining viewers. So that's it from our side. Do you agree with our list? What do you think is the coolest thing about Bruce Lee? Let us know in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content like today. We hope you enjoyed our video, and we will see you next time.